Nyungwe National Park is a conservation area located in southwestern Rwanda, consisting of almost 400 square miles with an elevation of 5,600 to 9,700 feet. I recently had a chance to visit this unique paradise of exotic flora and fauna. Nyungwe is a botanist's paradise with over 140 species of wild orchids, 250 types of trees, as well as many species of ferns. It's also verdant with tea plantations, something that's important to the economy. A rustic road runs through the forest and follows the mountain summits. Nyungwe is one of the few places in the world where you can look into the wonders and secrets of a forest while barely disrupting the natural flow of life within it. Truly an ecotourism paradise. Nyungwe National Park is Africa's largest protected mountain rainforest. And with Africa's largest concentration of chimpanzees and some primates, it can get pretty noisy in there. It's reputed that the forest remained green during the last ice age, which could be one of the reasons it's so diverse. An extensive network of well-maintained walking trails lead through the forest to ideal viewing points. The history and people of the area are diverse, with many examples of song, dance, music, cuisine, handicrafts, and other artisan skills that make for a fascinating complement to the ecotourism attractions of Nyungwe. The locals are so happy to greet visitors and are often on hand at the main entrance to make sure you're feeling quite welcomed. Nyungwe Forest is hundreds of thousands of years old. People's presence in Nyungwe dates back at least 50,000 years, and aspects of the history of its royal family have been assembled into an exhibit in the park. This straw structure is a replica of a typical royal residence. Just by visiting, you're part of the park's history and contribute to the local economy, which in turn helps to protect this amazing place. Cattle associated with the royal estate such as this can also be seen on the property. People depend on Nyungwe to make a living. It provides jobs for guides and trackers and opportunities for the local economy. Nyungwe Forest offers a rare and important habitat for many species of primates and birds, but hunting them down can be a little tricky, and it's best to be well prepared for the elements. There are 13 species of primates in all, including humankind's closest living relative, the chimpanzee, and huge troops of the delightfully acrobatic Angola colobus monkeys. It helps to have a primatologist on hand to sort out who's who in the jungle.
Chimpanzee tracking is one of the highlights of the experiences that you can have in Nyungwe, and it gives visitors a chance to experience the forest where the chimpanzees live, and with some luck also see the inhabitants of the forest, our closest living relatives.
Chimps tracking, it's a different experience, and every day has its own experience, from easy to difficult.
The forest is just gorgeous in itself, and it's full of biodiversity, different animal species. And then you have over 200 bird species. Those are chimpanzee Pant-hoots, and they call each other. Often they do that when they found some food. Hopefully they will go up on a tree and we will catch up with them.
Yesterday it was hard because we had to follow them to find them in a very remote area where they had spent their night. So it was hard because it was steep.
So you can never have a guarantee of what kind of experience you're going to have.
So we got there when they had already eaten, so they had started moving. So we had to follow them until we found them by the main road.
They can be quite elusive. I was the only one in our little group that managed to get pictures of the chimps.
Of course, it's not a zoo. Chimpanzees are very active animals. They walk fast, they spread out, then they get back together.
After your trek, you'll be pleased to know that accommodations are available right next to the park. The Nyungwe Forest Lodge was the first 5-star establishment in the region, built to blend in with the surrounding environment and situated on a tea plantation on the edge of the Nyungwe rainforest. The forest has a growing network of walking and hiking trails and a number of camping sites near the Uwinka Visitor Center. It has 2 secluded campsites with pleasant picnic gazebos and rest facilities. Mainly, there's information on the variety of nature that you'll be able to experience in the area. A number of hiking trails crisscross the park, leading to a canopy walk, primate tracking adventures, the southernmost source of the Nile, and ecotourism attractions such as orchids, butterflies, moths, and other insects.
There is also habituated Colobus monkeys, huge groups. They're first just gorgeous, the black and white Colobus.
I tell you, we have 500 individuals of Colobus monkeys moving together, and we haven't seen it anywhere in the world.
They can be viewed even at a lower in the canopy, and you can see them during their rest time grooming or the kids playing, and so it's very interesting.
So they've been moving together every time. Tourists come to see that huge group, to see it as a strange group in the world. So that's really something I can talk about, and I'm inviting people to come and see it. And as you know, in Colobus communities, after 50 individuals, they sprint into subgroups, then they disappear. But that one is really special.
There's a trail that leads to a big waterfall right behind the main lodge. It's about 3 hours walk.
The forest has a wide network of walking trails. Nyungwe is made up of a complex matrix of Albertine Rift montane forest, and it's known for its rugged terrain and complex mosaic of dense vegetation types, from tall, dense forests to open, flower-filled marshes. The park has a varied topography with varied soil types, providing microhabitats for both plants and animals.
It is 10 kilometers, 2 ways, okay, with different levels of altitude, high and low.
Moist, fertile soil supports tall forests, while dry ridges provide habitat for shorter trees and thickets. The reward at the end of the hike is an absolutely splendid waterfall.
So that waterfall comes from the big swamp, the Kamiranzovu, which means elephant swallow.
Flooded forests, marshes, and open herbaceous ground cover are interspersed. The first ever hanging platform that allows tourists to view different animal species in Nyungwe Forest was recently opened, making it the first in this region and just the 3rd on the African continent.
You can walk on a canopy walk. It's a very, very beautiful, elevated, suspended bridge.
Which is on the top of the canopy, the high trees and the forest.
And it gives you the chance to see the forest from above versus just from the inside.
So when you are there, you see a big part of the park with different species around. So it's an attraction that gives you access to different species on the top of the forest where you can't see them when you are walking on the ground.
The Canopy Walkway is 40 meters above ground level and 90 meters long, and the dizzying platform is above a deep and steep valley trotting across massive forest. Nyungwe is one of the most important and still undiscovered destinations in Africa, and because of its enormous biodiversity and special attractions, Rwanda is being recognized as one of the top 10 travel destinations in the world today.